All right, welcome to a Wednesday Power Hour. My name is Sarah Kelso, and we are going to every Wednesday. I do like a small, like 15-20 minute training, followed by some work to do. So, you're going to need your pen, paper, computer, iPad, whatever you use to take notes, and there'll be homework questions in the chat for people who are on live to do. We're going to do them live together, but for the training purpose, I'll keep it short, and then kind of put it in the chat. And then as we get, once I turn off the recording, then we'll be able to kind of work on those things together. So tonight I want to talk about, well, hopefully there's no little ears around right now being 7:30 my time. So we're going to call you on your bullshit stories. Okay. So we're going to call you on your bullshit basically tonight with a couple different things. Okay. So put in the chat how long you've been in network marketing, if this is your first time in network marketing. Um, I've been in this industry for 10 years now. I feel like the grandma of the industry at this point, because some people last 5 minutes, some people last 5 years, some people last 10 years. Started with Turnout February 1st. Is it your first company? 12 years, love it. Yeah, I know Robin and I talk every day, all day. Okay, so we're going to talk about bullshit stories that we put ourselves through when we're on the internet. Okay, so the first one is that maybe this isn't you, but I know for me, I went through every single one of these. Okay, so I'm just going to mute people. Sorry, just because I get so distracted. So bullshit story number one: you are afraid that people are not going to like you. And I get it. It's like going back to that like high school girl mentality. But here's the thing. Okay. So no matter what you say, no matter what you share on the internet, someone's not going to like you. Okay. Someone is not going to like you. Like if you were to go make a post and say, I love dogs way more than cats, something as simple as that, you're going to have all the cat hater or all the mom or all the cat ladies coming at you like, what? Cats are better because this, dogs are better because of this. Like it's literally cats and dogs out there, you guys. So you're always gonna have people that are gonna see your stuff and be like, I cannot. Like I do not agree with that. And here's the thing: when you're making content, not everyone's gonna like you, but the right people will. Okay. So what was that we were talking about? The goal is income, not popularity. It truly is, right? Like a lot of people don't even get to know the audience they have. They want this super big following of all these people that are going to like them. Like nobody has that. Even these big influencer people that you see online, they get so much hate. If you ever look through the comments, like it can just take, and I talked about this last week, but it can just take that one hate comment. It doesn't matter if you get one hate comment or like 100,000 hate comments, it still feels the exact same. Okay. So we kind of had to, like, we talked about this last week of just getting that completely out of your head. Um, Okay, so that's bullshit story number one. Hopefully, there's no little ears around. I'm going to apologize again. I'll try to keep it PG. We'll say BS. Okay, BS story number two is I'm just a teacher. I'm just a mom. What like I just say teacher and mom because that's what comes to my head because that's what I am. I'm just a nurse. I'm just a BS story, right? Like you think you don't have anything to give because you're just a okay. So now more than ever, people are craving human connection. They connect with people that they relate to because it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh my gosh, all my following needs to be moms and teachers, because that's what I am, but they're going to relate to real content. So, you know, some people are like, I'm just a single lady with 17 cats. Maybe you have 17 cats. I don't know why cats keep coming up, but maybe you have 17 cats at home. Like that, I'm not gonna lie, like let's think about this. If someone went live or someone was sharing in their story about their 17 cats every day, you're gonna tune in. You're gonna tune in and you're gonna watch. Because I would. I'd be like, whoa, all those cats. Anyways, whatever you have going on in your life, you're not just a, okay? So we're gonna take that out. So the good news is mundane life is what people want. So I kind of was thinking of things like showing whatever season you're in. Right now, I am in a very different season than I was when I started network marketing. Like I am 42 years old this year. I have a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. I relate a lot to like moms who are older like me. I consider myself an older mom with toddlers. Like a lot of people will relate to that. Um, showing up in whatever season you're in is what's going to add value. So, I literally, you guys, my daughter had gastro for 15 days. I actually have talked about this on every Wednesday. I do these trainings and I've been talking about this because it's a disaster. And I waited till day 10 to give her Enrich. Why did I do that? I don't know. I should have been known better as someone who could have given her Enrich on day 5, but I didn't. And so I've been sharing that, and I was sharing. Do you know how many gastro conversations I've had now? So now I've got all these people that have gastro issues and all their solutions. And when I found the solution, which was giving her freaking Enrich, then of course I shared it. I shared it in my story. I actually don't even think I made a post about it yet. Like that's still content I have in the back of my head. Mundane story, your daughter having the poops for 15 days is literally going to turn into content that people are going to watch. So, okay. So, oh, give me 1 second here. So let's go to, oh, this is actually a homework. So I'm going to put the homework in the chat. Like I said, I'm recording this and then I will turn off the recording. So we'll have time to like actually work through it. So let me just copy and paste the homework for this question in the chat because I really need you guys to kind of think about this. Like I said, we will have time to kind of go through it after. And I'll give you even my example. So I'm going to just literally copy and paste this into our chat for people who are on live. You get it copy and pasted. I will read through it as well for people that are watching the replay because that's going to be the only fair way. Okay. So basically, you're going to take 2 minutes when we're done this to write out all the boring parts of your day, like the super boring parts of your day. And here are some easy questions you can answer. What did you have for breakfast? What chores or errands did you have to do? What's the most mundane thing you look forward to during the day? Like for me, it's literally when my kids go to bed, I sit on the couch with my iPad with a blanket and I just like catch up on messages, work my business. When my kids like between the hours of 4 and 6, I don't even pay attention to my phone. I can't. Like 2 toddlers is wild time. So until they're in bed, and then I sit down and I just put on a blanket, and I don't know why it just like calms me down. Okay. And then I come into this office usually around 7:30 when calls start, things start going on for the business. So, and what was the last topic of conversation you and your partner, spouse, best friend, whatever had? What was the topic of conversation? Okay, so I'm gonna have these in the chat, so we will go through them after. If you're watching the live, well, hopefully you can write fast or rewind. Sorry, replay. Bullshit BS story number 3 that we tell ourselves. I'm too, so whether that's I'm too ugly, I'm too fat, I'm too these, like all these things that women tell themselves, I'm too like hot mess express. Like there's nothing worse than when I see, and I've been really trying to be cautious of this, when I go on my stories or I go on my lives, I really am not like, sorry guys, I'm like such a mess, but like I used to do that all the time. I was like the queen of that because oftentimes I would go on and I'd have no makeup on and then I'd be like a fresh face of makeup I was going to put on. So I'd be like, sorry, I look like this, but I'm going to be like putting this on. You going on as you is going to get you followers. It's going to, I am too old, thoughts today, grr. See, it's just, it's a BS story that you're telling yourself. No one else cares except you. I'm terrible still. Like I always play with my hair, even as I'm doing this training. It's a habit I've had for 10 years. Whenever I'm like talking, I'm playing with my hair. I feel like it's weird now because I'm talking about it and I'm like recognizing it. But I like literally will go on my stories, you guys, and like sometimes when my scalp's dry, I'm like picking dandruff out of my scalp and I'm talking about it on my stories now because that's how comfortable I've gotten over the last 10 years. I just don't care. But I really am trying to get other people out of like, well, I don't want to go on there because people might think this. Again, it's a BS story you're telling yourself. We need to be kind, okay? Be kind to ourselves, like, because you would never say that to somebody else. You would never say that to your kids. You would never say that to your best friend. You say it to yourself, and it's like we are so hard on ourselves. So we need to stop that and just go on and be ourselves. That's what's going to attract people to you. I'm telling you, people need to trust you in this industry, and the best way for them to trust you is when you come on as yourself, okay? So keep in mind that numbers of likes and views does not determine your self-worth. Okay, like there's posts I'll put up that get no likes. There's posts that I put up that get no comments. There's videos that I put up that get no views. So are we putting these stories or in stories or reels? I would do, so that's a great question, Kelly. I would do stories and reels. I do both very consistently as best I can. Stories is a lot easier for me because it's like on the fly, where like sometimes with reels, you got to kind of plan out the content slightly if you're not just going to talk. Like if you're doing like, I don't know, like I do the silly dances. I not actually dancing, but I do like, I'll do some of the trending sounds or anything like that. So none of it, any of like the views, the everything that you do, you guys, it does not define your self-worth. And I think a lot of people just like get caught in that. Okay, BS story number 4, my favorite one. My favorite one. I'm just too busy. Listen, I work full time as a high school teacher still. Built to the top of my last company as a full-time high school teacher. There's actually people on this call that like are my have been my friends for years and years and years in that company. And I literally in the season I'm in, like I shared with you, I have 2 babies. Okay. So now I have 2 babies added into the mix of things. Like there is zero doubt in my mind that I will not be a diamond in this company. Like I did it before. Why can't I do it again? Diamond's like the equivalent of what I would have been in my previous company. And like there's zero doubt. Like it's happening, it will happen, and it's gonna happen in its time. But I have that belief, I have that vision, but I also know like that everybody is busy. Like there is no one on here that's gonna say, I'm not busy. So I have all sorts of time in the world and a full-time job, 2 babies, and full-time teaching job. Exactly. Like I'm like kind of like more energized tonight because it's March break and like I've had this week off, but I do these every Wednesday night. It doesn't matter. I was working last week and I was here. Okay. So let's stop saying yes to everything. So let's just try to show up for our business every single day. Every single day, you guys. Like I literally drive my 2 toddlers to daycare. I get to work before I get out of my car. I put up a post that I made up on the weekend when I had time. I schedule out my posts. I don't even have the scheduling feature on Facebook anymore. It was devastating day when that got taken away and I have never got it back. Notes on my phone literally have my posts for the week. I have 2 posts a day on Facebook. I have them scheduled out. And I will sit in my car. And you have to build the habits into your day. You have to. So before I get out of my car, I literally have 20 minutes usually before school starts. I will sit in my car, copy, paste, boom, post. I go into work. Sometimes I'll do a story really quickly if I have time, but like just having that one aspect, okay, now I have content on my wall that as I'm working, that content, maybe it'll get a lot of comments, maybe it'll get a lot of views, maybe it'll get nothing. Who cares? It's up. I worked part of my business before I've even stepped foot. Okay. So you have to kind of have zero excuses. Nighttime for me, I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in 10 years. Yes, me and my husband, when we have dinners together after the kids go to bed on those nights, we watch 10 minutes of a show. That's it. 10 minutes of a show while we're eating. And then I'm like, okay, I've got to go to work. He likes to game. It's actually the perfect relationship because I'm like, he's not like a clinging, like we need to hang out all the time husband. Like he knows that this was my passion. He met me 2 months before I hit the top of my last company. I'm like, you don't know what you're walking into, but I'm like, I'm letting you know that this is my life and it will not be changing for anybody. And he was like, okay. And he loved it because he got a trip to California the following year. So he didn't care. We get to see the LA Kings, his favorite team, play in California. So honestly, you guys, like stop saying yes to things that are not going to move things forward, right? It doesn't mean that you say no to everything. I'm going out for lunch with my like best friends from growing up tomorrow. Nothing to do with my business. And of course, I'm saying yes to doing that because I see them so infrequently now. Not because I'm choosing to like be a hermit and always work, but I also know that like there's certain things that I'm just like, if I don't want to do it, I just say no. I'm like, no, like I'm not really interested in doing that. Or like, here's a perfect example. When my girlfriends are, I have a group chat. I'm sure we all have group chats with those girlfriends that are, or boyfriends or whatever, like friends that are in our circle that are nothing to do with the business. Like last night, they were talking about like absolute nonsense for like 25 minutes. I had like 50 messages. I don't go in and comment on it. I'm just like, I don't have time for this. Like, I have no time to waste on literally the nonsense they're talking about. Unless it's something I like can help or like give my opinion on, I don't really engage. I'll see them in person and I'll engage there and I'll be one on one. That's where I'm like, it's a lot easier. So scrolling social media, okay? This is called the energy vampire of scrolling social media. The quicker you can get out of scrolling social media, your life will change. Okay. And here's where I'm pulling out the next homework assignment. Okay. So giving energy to people in your life that don't deserve it and giving energy to social media people, it's the same thing, don't deserve it. They don't deserve your time. You're giving them your time and they don't deserve that time. Okay. So I'm going to grab, the next homework assignment and put it in to our chat. Again, like I said, we are going to do it after. Okay. This is homework actually for tomorrow. So, but you'll have it here and I'll go through it so that people watching the recording can have it. Okay. So homework for tomorrow, I want you to audit your day. I actually did this. It is quite astounding. Take note of the time you actually got out of bed versus the alarm and going off. Like, I literally will look at my phone. I have a 2-minute time limit to look at my phone before I get out of bed. I know some people are like, oh no, I leave my phone in the other room. I can't do that. I physically cannot do it. I refuse to do it. 2 minutes, because then I get up and I work out. Okay. That's my morning routine. I have everything like is a routine with me. Just like my toddlers need a routine, mama needs a routine, or my business is gonna like falter if I don't. 2 minutes out of bed. Okay. And did you check your social media first? Yes, I do. Okay. That's a question that I'm putting in in the chat. So it's all there too, you guys, if you want to just copy and paste it into your notes or wherever on your computer. How many times did you open essential apps, non-essential apps? Sorry. How many times did you open non-essential apps on your phone? Like that is an astounding amount of time of non-essential app usage. Okay. So that's another thing you're going to audit. Keep track of the minutes you spent on social media. Okay. Just one day, you guys. I'm not asking you to do this every day. This would be wild. Just keep track of the minutes that you spent on social media. How much time can add up for one day on the things on socials that you do? So no matter what, like I'm talking like celebrity BS. Like I'll be honest, I went down the Kate Middleton hole. I don't know, like whenever whoever watches this recording, I even just posted about it though. So here's the thing. I went down the hole today, rabbit hole of looking up Kate Middleton stuff on TikTok for like literally it was like 4 minutes because that's all I had. But now I did a post about it, an engagement post about it on my wall, and people are like literally blowing it up because everybody else has gone down the same rabbit hole. So you can take things where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and then create content from it and create engagement on your socials. People are going to start trusting you and like love that. And we're going to talk a lot about that in the coming trainings of like how we can't just be like these turnout robots, but we also need to share things that are like, what are things you're interested in and how are you going to relate to your audience, the people that you have. And here's the thing. I think everybody's like, oh, I want 100,000 followers. I want all these people on my social media, but most people don't even know how to connect with like the 100 followers they have. So like, how are you going to connect with 100,000 people when you can't even connect with the people you have now? You got to learn about connection. So, oh, no problem, Deborah. And I'm going to get to all the questions in the chat after I'm done the recording because you guys showed up. So that's where you guys get like, I'm going to go through everything. Okay, so let's just talk about the BS showing up as ourselves. So don't worry about anyone else, okay? Worry about you. I just want you guys to worry about you. Don't worry about what others are thinking. I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but it's so true in this business. It's unbelievable how many people I coach and talk to that are so worried about what other people are going to think. Show up as yourself. That's who they want to connect with. If they don't like you, they don't like you. If they do like you, perfect. They're going to connect with you and trust you. You have to build that online trust. It's not an easy thing to do if you're new to it. And I saw a lot of people in the chat at the beginning that are brand new to this industry. And honestly, it's my favorite people to work with because the amount of people on my team that I have watched who have never done network marketing before just soar in this company has been like it's brought me to tears. I don't know how many times because I'm like, wow, they listen, they follow our simple plan here, and they just go for it. And when they can get past that tiny little thing of not following those BS stories over and over again, it's amazing how much their business flourishes. So, okay, and then here is the last super simple question for homework. And like I said, those of you who are on live, we're going to go through all of them and kind of have time to do them. But here is the last thing I want you guys just to put in your notes or copy over or whatever you're doing. What is the one unique bullshit story that has been on replay in your mind for far too long? Okay. And I'll be honest with you guys, my personal one is like, oh, well, maybe I just can't rebuild. Maybe I just can't build back to a top of a company. Maybe I'm too exhausted. Like Robin's on here. We have this conversation all the time. I'm like, I would never be able to rebuild somewhere else because I just don't have that mental energy anymore to do it. But I'm like, what's the bullshit story I tell myself? I tell myself like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm good just being a Sapphire over here at Trot. Yeah, Sapphire Ruby's like a great pay. Like, maybe I'm good for that. But I'm like, no, it's such a BS story. Like when I came here, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna build the diamond. Like it wasn't even a question in my mind that I was gonna build the diamond. And then lately I've been questioning it more. And I'm like, this is a BS story. Like every single one of you on this call, 100% could build a diamond. 100%. We have such a simple system here. If you can build a jade, you can build a diamond. There's really no difference. You're doing the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. Are you going to get up and do the work? That's a different story, right? So, are you going to stop telling yourself these BS stories? That's a different story. Okay. So, that's it for the recording. I'm going to turn it off and we're going to have open conversation now.